Hi everyone, this is going to be a follow-up to my previous video in which I showed you how to do a sweep or an extrude along a path. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through an exam question. You see here, this is a 2015 exam, it's the very first question, and it's a pretty straightforward extrude along a path question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down like I did before, show you a wee model answer of it and talk about any wee things that might cause problems. Okay. So the first step, as always when we do any 3D modelling question, is we need to define or find what profile it is we're going to draw. So if we have a look, it's this part here that we're asked to draw the pipe, okay? So if we look at this, we can see that this pipe is an outside diameter of 10 and an inside diameter of 7. That means that there's a 1.5mm wall thickness in here that runs all the way through this. So the best way to start this one off is, if I go back to my answer, is to sketch a profile and have two circles, one at 10 diameter and one at 7. That there is enough to get you your very first mark. So that is pretty straightforward, nothing new there, you're just drawing the profile as we always do. The next step, if you follow my video, is to then define the path. Okay, what they've done here is they've actually given us the path. All you need to do is produce a sketch of this part here. Okay, you don't need to draw all three parts, like the centre line and the two outer parts in hidden detail. You don't need to draw that, you just need to draw the path here. Okay, the important thing though when you do this is that you say that you sketch the path on the perpendicular work plane. Make that in bold. Okay, if you don't do it in the perpendicular work plane, it won't work. Okay, so you have to do that. So as you can see here, I've got a wee sketch just showing the path there. I've got my 62, I've got my radius 51, I've got the length of this part here being 66, and I've got my 120 degree angle there. The reason I've got the 120 and not the 60 is because if this is 60 here, this part here must be 120. Okay, because when you take the angles away, 180 minus 60 gives you 120. So that part there is enough to get you your second mark. If you don't say it on the perpendicular work plane, or if you can say that on the plane that's at a right angle to the original sketch, that will also get you the mark, as long as you mention that. If you don't mention that, you can't get the mark. And then the final command there is to say use the sweep command or the extrude along a path command, selecting the profile, the part of the profile that's the inside of it, so the part in between the two circles, and then select the path. And what that will do is it will give you this here. And that's really all there is to it to get the 3 marks. The biggest mistake that I see with this question is that people draw the 10mm circle, they don't do the 7mm, they follow all this and they get the pipe but it's not hollow, and then they think that they can shell it. If you shell it, so if you look there, this is 10 and this is 7, so if you're shelling this you would make it 1.5, because that's 1.5 there, 1.5 there, and that gives you the 3 difference between them. However, what that does though, or what it doesn't do, is it doesn't hollow, it doesn't go all the way through. So what you'd end up with, it would stop round about here and you would have a 1.5 kind of shell wall thickness for this bottom part here. So that's probably the biggest mistake that I see with that question. But these questions all start the same. You have your profile, you create the path for it on the perpendicular work plane. My advice to you would to be just to copy what you're given here and put all the sizes that are shown here on it. That is the only thing you need to do. And then as long as you say that you're selecting the correct profile and selecting the correct path, then you will successfully do an extrude along a path. Now obviously these can get a wee bit more complicated, but this is just one that I was wanting to show you. It's worth 3 marks there. So that's just one that I want to show you in order to give you a wee start on that. If you don't remember how to do it, my video about the extrude along a path should be on my channel. If you go and have a look at that, and that should maybe make things a wee bit clearer for you. Thanks for watching, and I hope this helps.